Hello and welcome back to another Advanced Hwo Lessons. Today's lesson, well, it's just mids again. We can't stop with the mids. But it's gonna be a mid from RFF. RFF FF+4. This move got changed a lot in previous Tekkens. Well, it gave a lot of damage, most especially in Tag 2. In Tekken 7, however, it only had that for a brief moment, and then it got changed to its current form now, which is mid-high, and it jails. You could technically call it mid-mid, because as soon as you block the mid, you're blocking the high. That's what a jail property is. More on it soon. So again, this move is NC. As you can see here, as soon as you throw it out, you're guaranteed 35 damage, and look how far your opponent is on hit. So you're not really catching them, but it is very similar to the Hwoarang Hell Sweep, wherein you can just wave Oki, Flamingo. Again, I'll link in the description below for the Hell Sweep, Okizeme. So it's essentially the same. You have enough time to wave, do your while standing 4. You have enough time to enter a Flamingo, either one, left or right. You can even transition back into RFF, out of RFF. Or if you just want to stay in RFF the whole way, you can walk up into RFF. Simple. Now this, I did say it does jail, so if you put this on standing guard and then put it on crouching guard, it won't happen. Even if the move is mid-high. So it became a move where you could push your opponent towards the wall. And if they did guess wrong, they were getting they're eating 35 damage and decent Okizeme. Now it is +3. It used to be like plus 9,000 if the second hit, what do you call that, gets blocked. The first hit, not so much. Those frames have always stayed the same. -9 and on hit, -1. So you weren't able to do much with it, although you could still jab, DF1 and down jab. But usually the mix-up was always trying to somehow get the second hit so you can get the guaranteed RFF 2 back 4. Now it's, well, you might as well just press the whole thing because there's no consequence for the second hit getting ducked anymore. So since, again, +3, right? And massive pushback. So if you attempt to press a button, your longest reaching RFF button, something like RFF DF3, you won't reach. Try to do JFSR, no dice. You try to do any other RFF move or any LFF move from RFF, they don't reach. So you can't really continue pressuring your opponent with a button. But you are +3. So which means if they do press a button right after this and they don't decide to backdash, you will catch them. So let's record that right here. So they do decide to press a button right after it. You do trade. Of course, it's too far, right, to get your +3 advantage. Of course, that was a jab. But if I do something like a DF1, there you go. If I recklessly press a button on block versus Hwoarang, I still get caught. But if you backdash, you pretty much avoid that option. So that's the one thing that's keeping this move together. The fact that it is still +3, your opponent cannot press. Although they can backdash and they can backdash step. They don't even have to step in the place where they're at. Just simply backdash and move away for as long as they're not close enough towards the wall and they're okay. So you use that +3 and you try, just mental mix-up. You do your running 4, you do your running 3. You can even do your RFF FF3, although you'll be -6 right after that. So it's more advised to like walk up, down 3, 4. Waveu, you stutter with the wave dash. Or you dash into another RFF. I mean, the choice is yours. It's really pure mental mix-ups here. Like, this is pretty safe. Walk up while standing 4 or walk up while standing 3. Although that wasn't while standing 3, that was CD3. But that is a viable option. So that's like how the move really works in open. You're really just pushing towards the wall and taking up that free space with that advantage. So your opponent can't press. Should they dare to press, they eat a counter hit or any other one because they're extending the hurt box, right? You just walk in for free and then just play it safe from there. Because if you do press a little bit too early as they're backdashing, they can whiff punish you. Imagine that's Kazuya on the other side. You RFF FF+4, you walk up jab like this. If they're very awake, that's a god fist, and that's GG. Shake my hand, But at the wall, this move has more usage. Yes, more and more mileage because it jails now. Before, if you're an RFF, it's part of the threat So you had Backlash, you had RFF FF+4, RFF DF4, and then of course the down 3-4, RFF 2. So you were just mixing a lot of options together so that your opponent really second guesses themselves. This time, not so much. It's gonna be helping you, what do you call this? You know, torment your opponent at the wall. So if you do it, it does splat. And that's free damage. That is free damage. And if that was a breakable wall, it's going to break. So at Howard Estate, Jungle Outpost, Duo de Serio, Balcony Break, it's gonna do that. So you can, if you have your opponent at the wall, and you just wanna like throw out a safe mid that will give you good reward, both on hit and on block, because they can't backdash anything here. They can step moves, however. We'll demonstrate that in just a bit. You do get your 35 damage. So it's like, what's the B&B for it? So if you go for the regular B&B, you're gonna get around 69 damage. It's good, that's good. If you go for the other one, however, which is really nice. Ooh, what's that? That's 78 damage. Sheesh. It's got good Oki. So let's say you get that, right? You end on RFF, they wake up to a +3. That's good. And you can see they can only step towards the left here, which is apparently the best side to step against RFF FF+4, not stepping towards his stomach. I'll show you. So we're gonna have Hwoarang stand guard here and then sidestep right. Of course, we're still restarting at the wall. So you throw out the move, and I'm gonna throw out RFF DF4 immediately. Now, since Hwoarang is really close to his opponent, it's harder for them to step from RFF DF4, but it's still steppable. So it's just a matter of like how close he is and like how much space he's really taking up to prevent them from stepping right. So you just do DF1 plus 2. That's pretty much it. DF1 plus 2, DF1, it's gonna stop them from stepping right in this scenario. And you can mix it up with others. You can do like an RFF2. You can do your down 3-4. You can do a down back 4. I mean, you have other options. Backlash is gonna be very key here to cover most options. You can't do RFF DF3 because again, it's only +3. And that move comes out 20 frames. So it's 17 frame startup. If your opponent jabs or down jabs, you're not winning there. Of course, you can throw out something like up forward 3+4/4, but a little bit risky there when it doesn't catch that. Versus sidestep left, however, this is where things start to get tricky. So RFF DF4 will lose, right? And so does your mids. DF1 loses, and DF1 plus 2 loses. But you still have Backlash to cover there for you. So this will keep them honest there. Assuming you can press the button like me. Because I wasn't able to press it there. You have your RFF2. It's going to keep them locked in. And unfortunately, you will not have down 3-4. That whiffs. So you gotta default to RFF, down back 4 into Flamingo, or just down back 4 by itself. There are other options. You can always just like CD3 for as long as like, you align that. You have like wall standing 4-4. But again, you have to commit to your crouch dash to it. So if they again are pressing a button, that's the whole mix-up. Number one, are they stepping? Which side are they stepping to? That way you know which options you're going to be using. Going to be pressing RFF DF4? Are you going to be pressing Backlash? Are you pressing RFF2? Or are you going straight for lows? Now, if they're not stepping, this is like paradise for Hwoarang. Because number one, RFF DF4 will always go in. So you get your +7 mix-up. And you get down 3-4. Two things. Those are the two things. Those are the most important things there. As wall pressure. Now, you can use this in combos. Although, it's not the best. So you can use this like wall carry. But it is tough to get. As you can see there, I'm going to be dropping this fairly a lot. There you go. Not the best combo filler. Even for like wall carry enders. So you can use it as a combo filler. It's just not. It's barely, I don't know. It is usable, but not the most preferred. But it's okay at the wall. It's good. I mean, I did show that earlier. But just to show you another example, right? We do a combo here. End it on RFF. Oh, they're waking up to that. That's beautiful. And then now you're just going to play around that mental mix-up at the wall. Are you stepping or not? That's just pretty much the question. When you throw it out in open, your question is, are you backdashing or not? Those are just the two questions you're asking yourself every time you throw out this move. And the main win conditions you're trying to get is you get to push towards the wall if you do it in open. And then if you're doing it at the wall, They're trying to capitalize on keeping them in place. So this move really does lean more towards offense and neutral, because those are the situations that always presents itself. Now, can you make this like defensive? Now, in open, you can make this very, very defensive, because you can throw out RFF FF+4. Let's say they backdash, you just backdash yourself. That's it. You're using the +3. They can't press, so you can stand in place or backdash. You don't really have to do anything. Or you can still do the neutral thing, which is move forward and do nothing. At the wall, you're not really doing much. You probably just throw it out and then just see what their reaction is if you're really trying to lean towards more defense. But if it's trying to do what the move does, which is neutral and offense, you press your button and you're always checking, double checking like how they're reacting and so and so. So it's a very interesting move. It's an interesting change that they did, I believe, in Season 3. That was just a brief overview on the move. And yeah, again, the end screen is going to show the next Advanced Hwo lessons when it does drop. So feel free to click on it to learn more about Hwo in Tekken 7.